Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Joy News today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemere on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. Joy News, your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, ranking member on Parliament's Education Committee, Peter Nortsu Kotoe, calls for a full-blown investigation into activities of the Buffer Stock Company on allegations of underhand dealings in the National Food Suppliers debt saga.
I've been saying over the years that Pastor has become a hub of corruption, where the things that go on, in fact, my sister, is very bad.
Hear from the food suppliers who accuse the Minister of Education of sidelining them to engage new suppliers for the school feeding program.
The minister has paid a 2021 suppliers who he himself has gone to contract. He has paid them up to date.
We have details of all of that as the group enters day 4 of their pitching of camp at the Buffer Stock. Now, some staff of MMDAs in the Ashanti region interdicted over missing general counterfoil receipt books. We have details also for you.
We've even interdicted some people. There was a committee in place investigating some of them, the very serious ones. At the end of the committee's report, then we will know the next action to take.
Plus, patrons troop the Achimota Retail Center for the EcoBank Joy News Habitat First Maiden Clinic with exciting packages. We'll take you live to the venue for all you need to know about the Habitat Fair. And on Tech Talk today, Twitter threatens to sue Meta after rival app threats gains traction. A genuine case for consideration. We'll talk to tech experts and what this could mean for both parties. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is at Denana Aisha. Please stay for details. Ranking member on Parliament's Education Committee, Peter Nortsu Kotoe, has called for a full-blown investigation into the activities of the National Food Buffer Stock Company on allegations of underhand dealings in the National Food Suppliers debt saga. According to the ranking member, records available to him indicate that the Ministry of Education has released at least 90% of debt owed to the food suppliers. He said an investigation must be conducted into the matter to help streamline the work of the Buffer Stock Company.
You can owe somebody, then you go and engage another person and pay that person regularly. I've been saying over the years that Pastor has become a hub of corruption, where the things that go on, in fact, my sister, is very bad. And there should be a point at which we should investigate the activities of Buffer Stock. Because my information also is that the Ministry of Education has paid about 90% of what they owe them. I tried getting the minister to confirm this to me, but I wasn't able to meet him. Yesterday was in the chamber because we were in court, so I couldn't have access to him. So the situation is very bad. You cannot owe people and keep their money, then you go and engage new persons, and then you don't want to pay them. They are human beings, they have families. They must also live life. So I don't see why the Buffer Stock is not telling us the truth. That's why I'm asking for a public inquiry into the activities of Buffer Stock.
Okay, but members of the National Food Suppliers Association have accused the Ministry of Education of sidelining them to engage new suppliers for the school feeding program. Kweku Amedome, a spokesperson for the association.
New suppliers that we're talking about, I think the Minister of Education is the best person to answer this question because this new crop of suppliers, he's the one dealing with this new crop of suppliers. And I want to also make reference to what the Honorable said about my minister claiming that he has given 90% of our money to buffer stock. Indeed, buffer stock has admitted having received that money, but buffer stock has also made a counterclaim that they are left with 175 million Ghana cedis at Minister of Education. The Minister of Education is supposed to release that money to him so that he can be able to pay us. So this is a matter that he has also confided in us. So maybe when the media or the Honorable Minister, the Honorable MP gets in touch with the Minister, he should be able to also ask this question. My sister, the bottom line is these are elderly women. These are women who have helped. In the entire 2022, they did supplies to the buffer stock, and not even a dime was paid to them. For the entire 2021, they were only paid 30% of what they supplied. In fact, in 2023, they were given, they were asked to also go and do emergency supply, of which they complied. Up to now, the minister has paid the 2021 suppliers who himself has gone to contract. He has paid them up to date. Those people who are not part of our members, that the minister himself went to contract, that the minister has sidelined us to go and contract, those people have been paid. So my question is, why would the minister leave us out of the picture and be paying people who have just done supply? And as I'm telling you,
and what's your suspicion? Why do you think that happened?
My sister, it can only be influenced by, it can only be the personal interest, or there's an in hand, or I have a suspicion that the minister is not in good terms with the CEO of buffer stock. Because
some staff of metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in the Ashanti region have been interdicted over missing general counterfeit receipt books. Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah has described the trend as worrying, expressing fears that receipts could be used for extortion. Nanaya Ojima reports the Regional Coordinating Council has initiated a full-scale investigation into the matter.
The Offenso, Akrofrom, Achimampunia and Swami local assemblies are among areas where the trend has been discovered. Chief executive officers, coordinating directors and finance officers in the affected areas are being held responsible for the missing receipt books. Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah says the Regional Coordinating Council is awaiting a report of an investigation committee for the appropriate action to be taken.
Already we've even interdicted some people. There was a committee in place investigating some of them, the very serious one. We have a committee that is investigating. At the end of the committee's report, then we will know the next action to take. If there's the need for us to dismiss some of them, we will do that. If there's the need maybe to report to local government service to take certain action, we do that. You know, those under finance, that's the finance officers, they are all under controller and accountant general. They are not local government staff. Yes. So at the end of the report, then we know the sanctions to apply.
Nonetheless, all 43 MMDAs in the Ashanti region have submitted their first quarter financial statements. 3 of them were returned for correction of errors. The assemblies generated over 24 million cedis out of a target of 26.5 million cedis, representing 92.7% of the target. 17 of the MMDAs exceeded their quarterly budgets. Mr. Osei-Mensah, who was satisfied with the performance, spoke about measures adopted to improve revenue mobilization.
Last year, it was somewhere around 70%, and some or most of the assemblies had collected even less than 50%. But this year, there's significant improvement. Maybe the monitoring is a factor. Now we look at their financial statement. You know, they submit financial statement every month. And then I request the chief local government inspector to also give me a report on the financial statement. So I look at the assemblies and call them and say, you have to back up in this area, you have to back up in that area. that this is one of the factors. My regional internal auditor is also doing very well, and the budget officer is doing very well. So the monitoring has improved. We do both external and internal monitoring.
Over 23.4 million cedis was spent by the assemblies in the Ashanti region. The regional minister bemoaned some recurring audit issues, including non-deduction of VAT and other taxes.
It has also come to the notice of the Regional Coordinating Council that some recurring audit issues are not being addressed by MMDs. These include the non-deduction of VAT and the tax, and even when deducted, is not remitted. Payments made by assemblies are also not accounted for. Some assemblies are also refusing to hold audit committee meetings. The recent data collected shows a very abysmal picture, particularly at Offenso, Secretary East, and Adanse North. I'm also informed that some MMDCs and MMMDCDs do not involve their internal auditors in the payment process, citing the use of the gift mix as an excuse.
The general meeting of the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council deliberated on measures to develop local communities. For Joy News, Nana Ojima reporting.
The Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, has vowed he will do everything within his power to improve police-community relations. Speaking at the Sapeman Basic 2 School, he said that it's one of the surest ways of achieving effective policing. On his interaction tour of the Greater Accra region yesterday, the IGP bumped into 3 school children who fled when they saw him and his team. But he later walked with them to school whilst encouraging them to make the police their friend. Mark Solagbagba has more.
It's morning here at Amasaman. School children are on their way to school. The 3 of them in the community will meet an unexpected visitor, the Inspector General of Police. As a natural reaction by many children when they see the police, they start to run away. The IGP Dr. George Akufo-Dampare got down from his car and decided to walk with the 3 school children to school. It was a long walk together with other top police officers. He first went to the homes of the pupils to introduce himself to their parents.
The police is here. The police is here. So we are here.
That encounter culminated in an unplanned sensitization at the Sapeman MA2 Basic School, where the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, urged the students to see the police as their friend.
I'm trying to recover from the shock that I had after meeting the little ones who saw people who were supposed to protect them, and they started running. But I know one thing, that is a good thing that we witnessed, and we pick the relevant lessons, and we are going to double our steps in trying to build partnership and engage the community for us to be able to win your hearts and minds, to win the hearts and minds of your elder siblings, the hearts and minds of your parents, the hearts and minds of your uncles, the hearts and minds of your grandparents, and more importantly, the hearts and minds of your little siblings whom we just dispatched. So that's the assurance I want to give you. We are there because of you. We have witnessed something dramatic today, which is a gap in terms of the quality of service we provide for the communities, and more importantly, for you, the young ones, which we have missed. And we are going to recalibrate and get to the point that we'll be in a position to satisfy you. Because I've said it without time without number, that as long as we are public servants, you guys are in school, you are fresh with your synonyms and antonyms. Whenever there is a servant, there will be what? I can't hear you. Whenever there is a servant, there will be what? And if we are public servants, by the work that we do, then we have been looking for our masters. And to tell you the truth, The masters are the people in the community that we serve. The old people are our masters. Your parents are our masters. Your uncles are our masters. Your elder siblings are our masters. And you, if you don't know, today I'm telling you, you are our masters.
Please is your friend is a popular mantra used by officers of the law. The pupils, who are all less than 10 years old, say they are excited about their encounter with the IGP and they now see the police as a friend.
Sarah what?
Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane. Okay. Why were you running when you saw the police?
I'm afraid of the police.
Yeah. So from now, would you still be afraid of the police?
No.
Why wouldn't you be afraid of the police again?
Because the police is my friend.
Now, I can feel that the police are our friends, so I won't run when I saw them. Okay. Because of the guns and the firearms, that's why I'm afraid.
Earlier, the IGP visited the Amasaman police station where he interacted with personnel there and also engaged with residents. He asked the residents to always count on the police. He was also at the palace of the chief of Amasaman and Ajin Kotoku. The IGP is visiting police stations in Accra to assess the quality of service the public receives when they visit police stations for help.
Director of Health Administration and Support Services at the Ghana Health Service says it has become imperative for Ghana to develop and implement innovative, cost-effective strategies in the management of hospitals. Dr. Ebo Hammond says it cannot be business as usual for administrators of public hospitals at a time patients are becoming sophisticated and aware of their rights. He made the call for a paradigm shift in the management of hospitals during a training program for 93 administrators appointed to manage hospitals across the country. Oheminteria has more.
To Dr. Hammond, hospital administrators must be equipped with and apply transformational management skills that targets expenditure cutting for effective healthcare management. Whilst cautioning administrators against fraud, he insists they cannot sit on the fence and pretend all is well at the time medical legal cases are on the rise against health workers and facilities.
The hospital administrator is required to apply transformational leadership and strategic management skills for effective healthcare management by providing all cadre of health professionals with the necessary logistics and the enabling environment to empower them to discharge their duties effectively. Innovative revenue generation and expenditure cutting measures to ensure efficient and effective operations of public hospitals. The training will also enlighten participants with strategies for preventing and managing medical legal issues which are on the rise. We are being sued by patients because of negligence and others.
Country representative at JSI, Dr. Henry Nanagai, wants administrators to prioritize prevention, detection, and elimination of fraud at all times.
In the development space, when we see that there is an irregularity of resources that we are using, whether for HIV, TB, malaria, COVID, etc., either in the health facility or a district, we discuss it at our level, and sometimes we don't provide more resources, because we are worried whether the resource will be used appropriately or not. So fraud prevention, detection, and response, as administrators, I can tell you that it's a key thing that you should all look forward to preventing, detecting, and supporting to minimize the matters of fraud.
Deputy Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Anthony Ofosu Adofo, has charged administrators to help manage the government's investments efficiently in the provision of health infrastructure that goes a long way to improve patient care.
Government and our development partners have provided a lot of support and investment in the health sector. And you as hospital administrators, you have the responsibility to ensure that these investment and resources are managed effectively.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oyeminteria reporting.
In the wake of the recent migration of nurses to the diaspora for better job opportunities, chairperson of the 1993-year group of the University of Ghana, Robert Darko, has emphasized the need to build the needed capacity to help in curbing the brain drain. Speaking at the seminar to mark their 30th anniversary, he called for collaborative efforts between government and all stakeholders to ensure the future of the Ghanaian youth is secured.
The 1993-year group of the University of Ghana, celebrating their 30th anniversary of completing school, has organized a seminar on the trajectory of the country, socio-economically and politically. The seminar on the topic, 30 Years of Socio-Economic and Political Disequilibrium, Systemic Interventions to Salvage, highlighted the need to strategize methods for the development of the country. Dean of the Graduate School in the University of Ghana, Professor Robert Darko, in an interview, highlighted the need to train and equip more nurses to curb the current brain drain happening in the country.
We have serious unemployment problem today in this country, right? We have serious underemployment problem. We have serious graduate unemployment, so much so that today we have what we call the Graduate Unemployment Association or something to that effect. So if another country needs nurses and we have the capacity to train and to export, what's wrong with that? Remember, we are growing cocoa. Don't we drink cocoa? Don't we eat chocolate? But we grow cocoa and then we sell some. So why can't we build human capacity and export some? Of course, we also import capacities when we do need them, right? We have technocrats who have come to the country at various stages of our development to support us. It is not an issue of nurses are leaving us, so what are we doing wrong? No, of course, if you take the healthcare system as it is, we do not have enough nurses. But what are we doing to train more nurses? And what are we doing to retain those nurses? Okay? In that case, you are turning what you call a brain drain into a brain gain.
Economist and researcher Peter Kotoe, together with other panelists, advised the youth to consciously desire to gain work experience through internships and strategic workshops.
Sometimes when we look at your CVs, your job applications, they don't entice us. It doesn't tell us that you are ready for the job market. Where I schooled, you realize they come around, show you how to write your CV, they train you, they prepare you for the job market. I don't know whether our counseling and placement center does a lot of that. So we need to prepare our students ready, our young people ready for the job market. Don't do business as usual. So don't always start, you don't have work experience. Look for job placements, look for internships, etc. Start something. And wherever you work, if people start from 8, close at 5, start at 5:30, 6, start early. Don't do business as usual. Your employer will by all means notice you, and I'm sure you will get promotion.
I always say that your time, you do not have any reason not to do well. When 30 years ago when we were here, there were no mobile phones. We were using typewriter. Today you have Instagram, you have what? You have also kinds of social media. Instead of using it for Snapchats and watching people wearing bikini and all that, you should spend the time learning something which is extraordinary so that you can beat the competition.
Reporting for Joy News, Stephen Mensah.
Now, Twitter is threatening Meta with a lawsuit after a blockbuster launch of Meta's new Twitter rival Threads, and perhaps the clearest sign yet that Twitter views the app as a competitive threat. On Wednesday, an attorney representing Twitter sent Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg a letter that accused the company of trade secret theft through the hiring of former Twitter employees. The letter was first reported by Semaphore. A person familiar with the matter confirmed the letter's authenticity authenticity to CNN. The letter by Alex Spiro, an outside lawyer for Twitter owner Elon Musk, alleged that Meta had engaged in systematic, willful and unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property. In response to reports on the letter, Musk tweeted, "Competition is fine, cheating is not." The letter goes on to say that Meta hired former Twitter employees who have improperly retained Twitter documents and electronic devices, and that Meta deliberately involved these employees in developing threats. Well, there's more on the CNN on this development, but what does this mean for both technology giants? I've been joined by Zoom by Maximus Ametago. He is an IT consultant. Grateful for your time, Maximus.
Grateful for having me too as well.
First, let's see what this means. I mean, the appearance of threat means to the fortunes of Twitter.
For me, it's just another form of social media app that has been developed by a competitor. Of course, Facebook has been in the game for a very long time. They have built good platforms like the WhatsApps that we use, the Instagram, the Facebooks. They have the other platforms that they have built, and they've grown over the years to become a huge social media platforms. Now they feel threatened by Twitter's presence because there's a gap there, and Twitter is quite unique in in terms of how the platform functions. The text-based platforms, they drive conversation around the world. So Facebook needed something to also, compete with Twitter. So they came out with the thread concept. For me, I don't see it as a threat to Twitter. The new owner is very innovative. The new owner has a different way of designing tech solutions that will compete favorably and even overtake the market. Now, I see this more like Facebook trying to satisfy people who had resentment because Elon Musk took over Twitter, and the fact that some of the things that they expected Twitter to be doing, as in censoring people's opinions and views, will not happen under the new leadership. And a lot of people also lost their jobs because he wanted to stream down the labor force and optimize their operations. So that's why I'm sure some of their proprietary, codes or whatever leaked. And now that Twitter is also suing them for that, I think that they will have a legal battle ahead of us. But for me, threat is not a threat to Twitter currently.
Right.
Because they have launched new features. And I'm sure when they launch those features, you will realize this is just an alternative. It's just like the way Facebook broke Messenger away from Facebook itself. Facebook is trying to create that feature from Instagram. Now you have thread copying, let me say in quote, the look and feel of Twitter, where we have more male than female users. Instagram is supposed to be female dominated. It's visual communication platform. So to link it from there instead of maybe from even Facebook, for me, it doesn't work well. It's just like you're trying to populate a new platform with your existing customers. So all the 20 million, 50 million people that currently are on the Thread platform is just moving people from Instagram to a new feature, which is a standalone platform.
Okay. I've also been joined by Henry Kobler. He is he's a lead at iSolve Africa. Henry, grateful for your time. Let me gauge your mood on what has happened so far. Now, people feel that Elon Musk brought this upon himself. No, the mass layoffs at Twitter, the introduction of fees for blue tick, gold tick, etc. And now having this a big thing coming from Meta. Do you share same view that Elon actually brought this upon himself?
Thank you very much. So generally, I don't share the same feel because definitely we're looking at the history of Meta. I mean, you'd understand that generally they're always trying to build sort of like an ecosystem where they sort of own some level of data and all of that. When there's a new takeover by a company, there are always going to be new changes, new innovations that are going to be ported into the company. And so you wouldn't expect that what people were originally comfortable with is always going to be what is always going to be available for them. And so generally, Elon didn't really bring this upon himself. It's just another showcase to actually build a new ecosystem. I mean, if you're looking at what they've already been doing, they had to break away with, just like Maximus said, they had to break away with Messenger till they actually got hold of WhatsApp, because generally that was the idea, to make Messenger look like WhatsApp till they actually got WhatsApp. They've repeated that with stories coming from Snapchat. They tried buying Snapchat. They couldn't get Snapchat, and so they had to now put in stories to make it look like, okay, this is another better off in terms of Snap. Snap is still running. I mean, it's still making its good moves. Same with TikTok. I mean, they've already introduced Reels to make it look like a TikTok kind of feature, which is in. And so, I mean, Facebook, the company Meta basically has a big history when it comes down to copy and paste. But I don't think that the copy and paste features really has given a threat to any of the competitors. I mean, even one of the platforms is Wax that look like some companies. So generally, if you're looking at what they're doing now, yes, porting, there's a bit of strategy. They acknowledge it's actually working sort of for them to have like 30 million people. I mean, just within 24 hours on an app, it's no joke really. But I mean, if you're looking at it, comes in from an ecosystem which is already running, and they're looking at hitting over a billion users. But again, look at Facebook itself. I mean, is Facebook itself given the best of competition in the social media ecosystem itself? I mean, when you go to Facebook itself, it's already ridden with a lot of advertisements and all of that, where people keep complaining and all of that. And so again, you're looking at this as a start. There's no adverts, there are no complaints and all of that. I mean, if you look into the ecosystem of Meta, they're definitely going to be pushing quite a lot of things. And if you're looking at the app itself, it's asking for so much of data that you wouldn't really want to give up to a company that is sort of trying to build an ecosystem. I mean, it's asking for health information and some quite a lot intrusive on other applications and all of that. And that's really coming. And so that's why the EU would actually say, hey, hold on, we don't want this up here now. We want to do a very extensive look into this app before it actually goes. So you already cut off quite a number of people from the EU that are going to even be on this app. And so definitely might not be a threat. I mean, Elon definitely is still looking at innovations. He's putting somebody in the shot to run their affairs, but he's still going to call some shots. The legal battle will definitely come on. I'm sure that there are some push and feel that is going to be in his favor, because this has already been there. He actually bought it for 44 billion. It's no joke, and so he's going to really put in a shot for this. But I think that it's just a regular Facebook antics which is just being thrown. I mean, complaints from people here and there definitely might just source out. It doesn't relatively mean that you're actually going to succeed with an application. And again, if you're looking at the terms and conditions where they're actually putting with Thread, you'd realize that it actually like soaks you in and is trying to just get you entangled without having to have any way getting out. And for me, I don't think that's actually a threat to Twitter.
Maximus, let's talk about the legal bit of all of this. I mean, what do you make of the accusation that it's Twitter saying that its former employees have given out its trade secret? Legally, I know that would be wrong, but it will only be wrong if there has been a contract that restrains the former employees from working with a similar company and not to let out information about its trade secret. Is this something that Twitter did? Do we know, Maximus?
As in Facebook did, because Threads.
No, I mean Twitter actually barring its employees from working with similar companies and also not letting their trade secrets.
I think that's usually most of these companies, when they design a feature or they design a particular code and all that, they patent it. So they register it. They have proprietary right over some of those features and functionalities. So you don't even need to tell your employees that if they move to a competitor, they can't let out those secrets. It's been registered. It's owned by your former employer. So there's no way you should let it out. So if Threads can't have proprietary right to that, if they can't say that they originated that idea and then there's a proof that the new employees from your competitor, they brought the idea and you executed it, or is similar to that, and legally, of course, they will take you on. So they don't need to tell the employees whether to do it or not. So long as it's registered and it's been patented by Twitter, that's all. They have a good enough case.
Well, let's see how this legal battle unfolds. We, the public and users of social media, we are enjoying this actually because there are a lot of options for us to choose from, especially because Elon is charging money for blue tick, gold tick, and all of that. But thank you very much, gentlemen. Maximus and Mametogo, he is a tech analyst, and Henry Kobler, team lead at iSolve Africa. Let's take a break on Joy News today. We'll be back with business. Hey.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwa. Producer of plastic pipe systems, Interplast Ghana Limited, says the company gained 50% visibility after participating in last year's EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Interplast Ghana will be present at this year's fair once more, according to Head of Marketing and Communications, Elizabeth Osujebi. The company is excited to be associated with the event this year. Here's more in this report.
The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is the biggest housing and construction exhibition in the country. Since its inception, Interplast Ghana has been associated with the event. Head of Marketing and Communications at Interplast Ghana, Elizabeth Owusu, recounting the impact of the event on the company, indicated that the event has had significant influence on the business.
Participating in the Habitat Fair last year, we had brand visibility increase for almost 50%. For us, the fair gives us the opportunity to express ourselves through their various platforms. We get the opportunity to be on TV throughout the fair. We had interviews with their various stations within Accra, Kumasi. They were all present at the fair. And I would tell you, it's very expensive to go directly to any of these stations to advertise yourself, but all these platforms were given to us during the fair, and it meant a lot to us because with this just being in Accra, we still got to advertise ourselves all over the country.
This year, though, the company hopes to surpass the percentage. It promises customers who visit their stands a 10% discount.
Interplast will be having a few raffles, probably 2 main raffles, where visitors to our stand would have to drop their complimentary cards and then get a chance of winning backpacks, a wall clock, and many more. So we would encourage people to pass through, not just passing through. You need to drop a complimentary card. You need to ask questions because we'll have our technical team there to educate you. It's going to be a decision making at that point. So make sure you come there. Those going to make the decision, those going to offer the discounts will be available. Interplast, as usual, will give you a 10% discount if you come to our fair, you pass through our stand, and you inquire about product.
Elizabeth Owusu details products Interplast will be displaying at the fair.
Interplast is focusing mainly on the Everlast, but the other brands will be there to support the Everlast brands. You can have a beautiful home without the lawn complement, because we always say that you have a beautiful view through our windows, but what do you see outside? A beautiful lawn as well.
Prior to the main fair, there will be 2 mini clinics at Chimota Retail Center from the 7th to 9th of July 2023 and West Hills Mall from the 4th to 6th August 2023. The main event will be held at the Accra International Conference Center from the 20th to the 24th of September 2023.
All right, the first clinic is underway at the Achimota Retail Center. We'll take you there live in a bit. Now to other news. Players within the IT space are calling for adequate investment in research. This, they say, will unlock the potential of technology. According to Northern Regional Branch Manager for Techno Ghana, Eric Chumesi-Mensah, taking such steps would yield more opportunities by creating new industries and jobs, as well as provide a cleaner and more sustainable future for all. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of Techno Ghana Phantom V-Fold.
I think, yes, we are ready for 5G because we still have most phones on the market that has the 5G, even though our telcos haven't yet brought 5G on the market. So I think we are preparing ourselves and we are much ready for the 5G on the market. I think the public needs to also to be educated on the 5G because sometimes when you talk about 5G, people don't even know 5G, even though we've brought 5G phones on the market, which the telcos haven't brought that on the market yet. People don't know what even the 5G is all about. So I think it's about education, psyching the minds of the people that, hey, from 4G we are moving to 5G. 5G is the best when it comes to internet speed and all that.
That's all in business. The news continues after this break.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News. An award-winning gospel musician Ohima Messi has unveiled the latest edition of her Tehillah experience, Tehillah X. Tehillah X is the 10th edition of her flagship worship and praise event, which was started in 2013. Here are highlights from the event. Finally, the big launch that we've been looking forward to is here. We've seen a lot of people coming through to support the Queen, the gospel music queen, Ohima Messi. Good to see you once again. You look beautiful. What do you make of the whole,
It's amazing looking at the fire and the presence is something else. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody. And I was just expressing how grateful I am. And how far God has brought us is amazing. 10 years, I must be frank with you. I don't know how God did it, but glory be to God.
We have a new venue, Oil Dome, and we have a lot of people on the bill. I saw your sister. Actually, all your sisters,
Dana Hamilton, the three of us, something will happen. Amazingly, God gave us these powerful eagles for this year, and I know God is going to use them massively to bring back something that is lost in people's life.
What inspired the decision to go with fire and fragrance this time?
I was actually praying, and then I had a call from my father, Budi Nyamiche, of Maker's House, and then I gave him 3 names, and he never mentioned any of them. And he said, whilst you were praying with me, I just heard in my spirit that this year is going to be the fire and the fragrance.
I know that for the past 10 years that you're doing this, it hasn't been ticketed. We don't pay anything. It's free. Are we still coming to the Oil Dome for free?
Forever and ever. And it's a covenant we have with the Lord on this altar. We'll never take money. All we need is that come as you are, no matter who you are, just come onto this altar.
What I can say is that what we have just seen here is an example that what is going to happen on the 13th of August. It means it's going to be a fire night.
What do you make of the whole journey?
It's very refreshing and reflecting on how it all started. It just come to me as a joy and an excitement to see the 10 years of, if it's a human being, this is the 10th year of a baby that was born 10 years ago, and it's exciting to see it grow to this extent. And we're expecting that on the 10th year, God is about starting something new.
Tahila at 10. You know what? I can't promise you anything, right? But a strong presence of God. This year, it carries something different. And I want everyone watching me to save the date. It's on the 13th of August. Please save the date.
I'm humbled and I feel fire inside of me. And I know that God is going to do something. I'm very optimistic about, people receiving healings on the 13th of August at the Oil Dome. And to be part of this movement, all I can say is glory to Jesus.
I'm very, very happy to be a part of Tahila Experience. I mean, the 10th anniversary. I'm so excited.
10 years of Tahila Experience.
On that note, we end Showbiz here on Joy News today. Aisha has the rest of the stories.
And definitely, before we leave you, patrons are beginning to troop into the Achimota Retail Center for the first of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Exhibitors are promising a one-on-one consultations with experts on everything housing, including legal experts. It's only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the interesting packages put together, especially for you. Let's take you live to the Achimota Retail Center and speak with my colleague Pius Kojo-Baka, who is on the ground for us. Pius, how would you describe patronage on the first day of our mini clinic?
Well, Aisha, it's the first day of our mini clinic, as you rightly mentioned, and patrons are yet to come in, but we've got great exhibitors to showcase their wares and what they have for us. Let's quickly walk to one of the exhibitors, Elegant Homes, on basically what they have for prospective clients. Hello, madam. Good afternoon, and you're live on Joy News today. Tell me about Elegant Homes and what do you have for clients?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Lauren Shalfuria Manfo. I'm a sales executive, marketing and sales executive of Elegant Homes. So Elegant Homes is a construction company and we have a real estate company. We sell 3, 4, 5 bedroom houses in a gated community located at Katamanso off the Adenta Dodowa Road. We have an affiliated company called Elegant Homes Products, which manufactures and fabricates windows and doors from UPVC. They are all UPVC windows. We also sell gypsum adhesives, corner moldings, plasterboards, and many more. Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next exhibitor to tell us what they also have, because this is where you get sorted when it comes to issues with your homes and challenges facing your housing issue. Let's get to Interplast and of course speak to them as well. Good evening, madam, and thank you for joining us on Joy News today. Now, tell me more about Interplast and what you do and what are you looking forward to quickly.
Interplast is a pipe manufacturing company. That is what everyone knows us for. But aside that, Interplast has these beautiful windows and doors that we also do. So we have them in white, we have beige, and we have gray. So Interplast manufactures this in Ghana here. All the profiles are done by us. We take the measurements, we do the installation. This is a simple sliding system that comes with a mosquito net. We have this gray, we call the tilt and turn. You can open fully for more air. You can tilt it just to control, especially in the rainy season when you still need water to come into. You don't want water to come into the house, but you need fresh air. So we have this double system as well. So all these are manufactured by Interplast. When you talk about Interplast, quality is what we are very particular about. So with our windows and doors also, we have all the expertise in the house. We recommend, we advise, and then we do the installation ourselves. So it's from start to finish. So that is what we have available here for visitors.
So, Aisha, as you rightly heard, the exhibitors, they are very positive that at the end of the 3-day mini clinic, patrons will come and, of course, patronize their wares. So, reporting live from the Achimota Mall, I am Pius Kojo-Baka. Back to you, Aisha.
So, there you have it. It's the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair. The mini clinic is on from today till Sunday. If you haven't been there, just start making your way there. There's definitely something for you. We'll bring you more of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair on Marketplace coming up next. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.